So friends, continuing with our tech talk series. Last week we had conversation with one of my friend who was a good programmer. This week actually we have very special, who is a fellow YouTuber. She also makes like YouTube lead code videos, and we are going to talk all about that. And she recently got a job in Amazon, so I can echo the same feeling, somewhat similar. And definitely today we are going to go over her experiences, how did she started, and what are her feelings, and what are her future aspirations. So we have Pratiksha with us. So Pratiksha, why don't you introduce yourself and let us know like who you are, how did you started, where you are coming from.
Absolutely. So, first of all, thank you, Parth, for suggesting that we should do this collaboration. Really excited to be on your channel and talking to all of these amazing people. And telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Pratiksha Bakrola. I am a software engineer. I've been in the IT industry for about 11 years now.
Wow.
And yeah, recently I got a job at Amazon as technical program manager.
Awesome, awesome. So 11 years, that's actually long time. And like how did you started, like what are some of the past, and is this like Amazon your first FAANG company, or have you worked at like what are some of the other companies you worked in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career with Tata Consultancy Services. I would say
Okay.
that. Prior to that, I actually did an internship with Indian Space Research Organization.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a really good learning curve. And after that, I got a campus placement to Tata Consultancy Services. I worked there for about 4.5 years. And then I worked in California higher education. So I last 6.5 years I spent in California higher education. And yes, this is my first FANG company.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So, definitely great to know that. Like, I think you have such a vast experience, and especially companies like ISRO. Oh, that's equivalent to NASA for the ones who don't know, in India. So it's a huge deal. Definitely great to know that you have such an established career. So, quick question, like. I mentioned earlier that you also have your YouTube channel and you do these lead code videos, and so how did it started? Like when did you decided that hey, this is something I want to do that, and like what was the inception story?
Yeah, absolutely. So earlier this year, I read this book called Show Your Work. And that book literally changed my perception on social media. Like prior to that, I would be on, Facebook, Instagram. I would come like once in 2, 3 years, update my DP. That was all my social media presence. And once I read this book, it just encouraged me to have some kind of online presence for my work. So I thought, do I? Then I asked myself these questions like, do I want to have a blog? Do I want to have a YouTube channel, or should I, do these videos on Facebook or Instagram? And then I decided to go down with the YouTube path, and I'm really glad I did that. There's definitely lots of learning. I thought it would be easy, but it's a lot of work.
Completely agree with you, and
Mhm.
great to hear. Yeah, definitely that you read something and then you applied it, and I think it's pretty true that people take social media as a stigma these days. But the thing is, if done right way and correctly,
Mhm.
it can boost your career and take it in a completely different direction. So
Absolutely. I have had people reach out to me from all parts of the world through my YouTube channel and tell me that what I was doing was inspiring. And yeah, I mean, it's just great to connect with people all over the world. Yeah,
yeah, you meet a lot of different people.
yeah,
And like, how did the process of getting job at Amazon started? Like, when did you
sure.
get involved in the process?
A year and a half ago, I had a Google recruiter reach out to me. And at that time, the remote work and all that wasn't happening. So it required me to relocate, and I was not ready for it. I was looking into buying a house, and I just wanted to settle down. And so I really didn't take that seriously. And so after I ended up buying a house, I
Okay.
realized I was like, oh my God, I gotta make more money. I absolutely, have a big mortgage to pay. So I was, open to it. And recently I have had a lot of recruiters, Google and Amazon recruiter reach out to me. And this time I decided that I'm going to take this seriously and pursue it.
Oh,
And so,
awesome.
yeah.
So congratulations on buying your house. It's the biggest investment you make in your life, probably.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, so before I dive deep into Amazon, I had few questions regarding Amazon, but how was your Google experience? Like the Google
uh,
interview experience?
well, actually, I just started with the recruiter call. We scheduled the interview with Google, but because I got the Amazon offer, I didn't really go through the entire process.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, good to know.
Mhm.
Like this is the first time I heard that someone ghosted Google Recruiter. So kudos on that. Usually they are infamous for that.
Mhm.
So how did you started preparing for Amazon? Like you mentioned that you were preparing for Google, and also like at the same time that the whole thing came up. So what
Mhm.
was your prep journey, and how did you prepare yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing came to my mind, like when I looked up, like how do people prepare for FAANG interviews? The first thing came up was like leak code. You gotta, prepare starting with leak code. And yeah, I started, solving these problems on leak code. I was looking up a lot of YouTube videos. I would mention two people that also, have a role in me having a YouTube channel. Is there's a channel by Nick White, and there's also a channel, programming channel by Kevin Nathan Jr. I don't
Kevin
know if
Norton,
I no,
Kevin Norton
Norton,
Jr. Yeah.
yeah, Kevin Norton Jr. So yeah, I mean those two people definitely played a role in inspiring me to have my own channel. But as I applied, as I move forward, and I was deciding what role should I be applying for, technical program manager roles stood out the most for me. Like that was most relevant to what I was currently doing in my job. And the first thing you want to know is when you apply for FANG, you should not try changing the roles. That's like the number one rule. Like they're not open to, like, they want you to up and run. They want you to start your work and be up and running starting day one. Like they don't want to wait until you learn the new job skills and things like that, even though it does require, like, even if it's a similar role transition, it requires a lot of learning. But yeah, you should stick to the same role that you currently have applying to FANG job. That would definitely be my number one advice.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, that's great to learn that
Mhm.
stick with your skills basically. So
Yeah.
yeah, the things that you know. And so you mentioned that YouTube played a really important role in your journey. You learned a lot from
Mhm.
seeing different videos and lead code preparation. How did you
Absolutely.
prepare for behavioral questions and also system design problems? Or were they asked in your, because I'm not familiar with the technical program manager, that
Mhm.
what kind of interviews they go through?
Yeah, so they definitely go through system design interview. So for system design interviews, I started preparing with some YouTube videos. I watched lots and lots of those. Um, but then I also read two books. There's this book called System Design Interview by Alex Su, and also Grokking the System Design Interview. That was a online, education series on educative.io. So I definitely read those two. And once I read those, I realized, what these videos on YouTube are missing. Like, if you're preparing for a system design interview, I would highly encourage at least read one of these books. Because learning from YouTube videos, it would just give you very high level, components. It would not give you the depth where the recruiters might end up going. So
Okay.
you definitely want to have your basics cleared, and like the preparation for behavioral interview. So for preparing for behavioral interview, I uh, what, again, lots of YouTube videos. You have to follow like a star method, and there is levels.fyi have blogs on which they have a good explanation of all the Amazon leadership principles. And also, they have sample interview questions for each leadership principle. So I use those questions, and I also did a lot of mock interview preparation. Um, so I use pram.com for my mock interview preparation. So instead of using the questions on the site, pram.com, I would use the questions from the levels.fyi that I found were more relevant to leadership principle for Amazon.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely. That's
Mhm.
so actually such a rich preparation material that you are saying. I think it's going to help a lot of people who
Oh,
are,
absolutely.
yeah,
And if they want to see like the entire like details of everything, I have 3 videos on my YouTube channel. If you don't want to watch anything, just check out those three. One is the um, design YouTube, system design YouTube. The second one would be how to ace a system design interview. And third one is just the interview process if you're interested.
Okay, so actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links of each one of them in the description of this video. So anyone wants to check that out, I highly recommend that go and at least browse it. So definitely, it's gonna help you maybe change your career completely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. How was your onboarding experience when you joined Amazon? Like, how did the process went through, and how did it felt like, and things to expect, and yeah.
So I did my onboarding virtually. They sent me this big box with a laptop and other equipments. And I had a meeting with my manager on the first day at 8 a.m.
Wow.
And where we set up our set up my machine and everything. They gave me access and gave me like this good lengthy onboarding plan. I was really impressed with the amount of details they have in there. Like they ask you to understand all the leadership principles, all the internal mechanisms, how things work at Amazon, and also it introduces you to their writing culture. Like they are big on writing. So and also it's a little bit different type of writing, right? In my previous job, I did a lot of writing, but with Amazon it's like they're all matrix driven, so you need to give numbers, like you did something, what change did it bring? Did it improve 5% improvement? Like did you get 5% improvement? Was it 10% improvement? What's that number, right? So they're like big number driven people. um, Talking a little bit more about my onboarding, I think I've had, I feel blessed. I have a really warm, welcoming team. Like everybody's so nice and so kind. I think it's just the whole company culture. Like they are just so kind, polite, open to trying new things. They don't really shut down any ideas. Like if you have an idea, you share. People collaborate, give you feedback, and yeah, very very feedback driven culture.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely good to know. And like, it's important to have the culture that
Mhm.
helps you strive in your career. So it's great that you have a great team, and yeah, they promote ideas.
Yes,
Also, like when you mentioned about the writing skills, and they make you write all the things you do, I think that becomes a uh, great testament of things you have done. So it would be really helpful during like performance reviews or things like that. So I think maybe other companies should also adopt that.
absolutely.
Yeah. And like, quick question. So,
Mhm.
did having a YouTube channel made any impact during your interviews or?
Absolutely. So, having a YouTube channel made me realize how important it is to be able to articulate your thoughts, to be able to explain technical details in a simple way that's easily understood by the other person. It can be, your YouTube viewers, or it can also be your interviewer. So, clarity in communication definitely. It made me realize how much I needed to work on that. And also, yeah, I would say that that really helped me draft my behavioral interview questions a lot better.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So, having extra skills always helps, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like, what? So after joining in, I think you are what, a month in, or I think 2 months.
2 months. Yeah.
2 months. Oh, okay. So now I think you must be contributing heavily and doing like,
Mm.
so what is your tech stack after joining in, and what kind of, like, what does a typical day looks for you? So without giving any like confidential details.
Absolutely. Sure. So no 2 days look alike. At least that's my experience so far. And I am actually working on or leading a project that involves building some internal tools. So I don't really think I can talk a little bit more about what those tools are, or what they do, or what tech stacks we used. So yeah, that's all I can give you for now on that
Uh,
question.
uh, okay, okay, perfect. So no worries about that. We totally understand that company policies, and yeah, you don't want to display anything.
Mhm,
Uh, One very important question. So, say for example, you have this vast career of spanning over 11 years. You have worked on
mhm,
different companies, different continents, and
mhm,
worked with so many teams. So, knowing what you know right now, if you
mhm,
were to start everything all over again, what are the things you would do differently? Like things you might change, things you might improve upon, and
mhm.
so
I think there are two things that I would do differently. The first one is to know that when you have an opinion, share it. Like initially in my career, I may have been hesitant to share my opinions. And I think just knowing that you have a platform, you have leaders who are willing to hear your opinions, that makes all the difference to the team and also to your personal career growth. The second thing I would do differently is to have a mentor. Like I guess I was so ignorant to the fact that you could have a mentor who can help you lead your career into a direction where you really want to go in your future. So yeah, definitely. At this stage in my career, for the first time, I have enrolled with Amazon mentorship program. So that would be my first time, but I wish I had done that like 10, 11 years ago.
awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely such great advice. Uh, what where do you see yourself after maybe 5 years? So
See,
sure, go ahead.
that's a very good question. Um, I definitely see myself sticking with Amazon. I think they have really good adoptive culture. Like they move fast. The amount of changes that I have proposed to our team in the last 2 months and the kind of adoption that I have received, I don't think I would have seen that in any other companies that I have been at. So definitely, I see myself working at Amazon even 5 years down from now.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely. So great to know. And I think what you can achieve in 5 years at Amazon would be equivalent to what you can achieve maybe in like 15 years at some other company, because at the pace Amazon operates at.
Absolutely. And they say 1 year at Amazon is like 4 years at any other company. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely I've heard a lot of people saying that. Actually, one of my cousin, I think he has been working with Amazon for like last 1.5 years, and whenever I speak with him, I felt that I actually learned so much from him, because the kind of
Hmm.
things that they go through and the different technologies they apply. So yeah,
Hmm.
for sure, I think you're going to learn a lot. Probably we'll do another session just when you are mentoring me, and then maybe I can tell it to others. So yeah, it would be
Absolutely.
helpful. uh the like Last question I have is, if
Hmm.
there is someone new who is starting up, and maybe someone like a student or someone from other
Hmm.
industry who wants to get into the IT, what
Hmm.
would be advice for them? Like how can they jumpstart their career?
Absolutely. I will say don't shy away from reading. I know in today's culture, people say reading is not so cool. They, have some sort of resistance towards books and reading. Don't have that. Like reading two books and understanding the content of just two books can transform your life and make you so much financially independent. So, yes, stick with books.
Okay. Okay, so never stop learning and learn
Hmm.
as, yeah, definitely, yeah, the
Absolutely.
great advice. uh Probably I'll follow up on that as well. So yeah, I think that sums up most of my questions. Like, any last words you personally want to feel like that you missed out, or you want to share?
I think I've covered everything that I wanted to share, but my one general advice to everybody is that even if you don't want a FANG job, just try one interview. It's going to shift your perception greatly. Like it changes the way you think. So if you don't want it, don't take it, but at least give it a shot.
Great. I learned a lot. It was great to know you, Pratiksha. And I want to share one more thing. Like Pratiksha mentioned that it was my idea to collaborate on the video, but the thing is, really how actually we got into touch with each other is that I used to, whenever I do these YouTube videos, I would post them randomly on some Facebook groups, and I think Pratiksha was also doing that. And after like maybe just a couple of weeks back, I received a notification saying that Pratiksha saw one of my videos and she commented that, "Hey, currently I got a job at Amazon. I know what you are trying to achieve, and if you are okay, I can refer you to that." That shows a lot of empathy on her side, and that felt like, hey, I at least I need to speak with her. And then we decided to have this meetup and do the whole process. So actually, thank you, Pradiksha, for like suggesting that, because we were complete strangers and still doing that. That shows a lot of empathy. And yeah, I think that by itself shows that you are already on like 2 3 leadership principles at Amazon.
Oh, thank you, thank you. That is very kind of you to say that. But I have seen your channel. I've seen you work so hard, and I just thought, if I could help in any way, yeah, that would be my pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that pretty wholesome experience.